Here's your Farm and Ranch Report from the Montana Ag Network.
And good Friday morning, friends. It's time for today's Farm and Ranch News. Today's report is coming from the Electric City in downtown Great Falls at the Civic Center as the 51st Annual National Public Lands Council Convention is underway. Over 250 public lands ranchers from across the West are right here in Great Falls discussing issues impacting the ranching industry. All the way from California, joining us here today is Mr. Dave Daly. He's a rancher and advocate for the industry. You serve on committees here with the Public Lands Council. Dave, what's it like coming up here to Montana where we have some great weather rolling in just for you here with some snow this weekend? But what's it like coming up here to celebrate public lands ranching?
Well, public lands ranchers in Montana have such a great history, and it's such a great community to be here. It's been years since I've been to Great Falls. It's such the welcoming atmosphere of what we see, and the strength of the ranching community is evident everywhere.
Now, to have that strength in the ranching community, of course, with groups like Public Lands Council, the grassroots policy are truly the bedrock of the organization and that voice up on Capitol Hill each and every day. Let's maybe for our viewers walk through some of those policies and committees that met just yesterday to help set a path forward for the next 50 years of PLC.
Right. Ranchers on public lands deal with lots of different agencies and lots of different pressures, obviously. I'm actually a Forest Service permittee on the Plumas National Forest in the Sierra Nevada of California. So my agency that I work with directly would be USDA and Forest Service, as opposed to many ranchers here who may be Bureau of Land Management, work through Department of Interior. We have the American Grasslands Group, who's also under the Forest Service. So the policies get complex. I'm actually chair of the Forest Service Committee. Yesterday we worked through lots of different issues that are really important to our producers to actually be able to manage their cattle on public lands. We feel we're in a positive spot in terms of how grazing is actually important to the public, but there's a lot of work yet to be done.
A lot of work indeed. And Dave, stay with us. For our friends at home, don't go away. After these words, we will be back from the Public Lands Council's 51st meeting right here in Great Falls.
Get ready for fall with this exclusive Cooper Tire offer only from Tire-Rama. Buy a set of qualifying Cooper tires between September 9th and October 19th and receive up to a $100 rebate instantly. Choose from a wide selection of Cooper tires, including the Discoverer SRX, ST Max, STT Pro, and AT3 line, as well as a highly rated CS5. Roll into fall with a new set of Coopers and an extra $100 in your pocket. Visit your neighborhood Tire-Rama or Tire-Rama.com today for more details.
Roots, they anchor CHS to Montana. CHS is your partner for feed, for fuel, for agronomy, for grain. CHS is the largest agricultural cooperative in the world. CHS leads because our owners know this land and know how to make the most of this modern farming world. CHS is your cooperative. CHS, creating connections to empower agriculture.
Returning back here on this Friday morning from the Public Lands Council's meeting here in Great Falls. Joining us from California is rancher Dave Daly. And of course, Dave, there's a lot of issues across the West that impact public lands ranching. For yourself in California, it's one of the largest agricultural producing states in the nation. What are some of those issues that impact you and you share here at this conference?
One thing you find out at public lands is every environment's different. Every state has issues. So we not only have federal issues, we have state. California is half owned by the federal government. People don't realize that. So it's public lands are a major issue. For us right now, I would say fire and forest management, endangered species, all of the challenge we have. And frankly, we have a predator problem that's out of control. So we're dealing with lots of issues.
Now, Dave, an interesting point that you and I once talked about is that California has its own Endangered Species Act, separate from the federal. How does that impact your ranching operation?
It's a challenge. For example, gray wolves are now in California for whatever reason. Even if they're delisted, which we absolutely hope and support the Trump administration does so, they're listed under the California Endangered Species Act. So we'll fight this battle at least twice.
And with that, what's maybe a message for our friends out in the countryside that we're not able to make this meeting? What's the message you had for them here today?
We need their participation. We need their engagement. They've got a great advocate in terms of Public Lands Council. We need them to participate. It's a story that has to be told.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your hard work on behalf of the ranching industry and the public lands ranching industry here in the United States. And I know you're going to hit the sip and dip again here tonight, but it's a great time here in Great Falls at the 51st Public Lands Council annual meeting. That'll do it for today. We'll see you this afternoon.